Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the annual Terrific 10 banquet. This is a night where we honor our top 10 seniors from the class of 2024 and the faculty member that they have selected as their Terrific 10 staff member. So this is about celebration of their accomplishments, celebration of those folks that made a lasting impact on their journey. But it's also about making sure you eat well because it's a long evening. So with that being said, I'd like to invite Owen Dowler up here. He's going to bless this meal, and we will go ahead and dig in and eat. Following that, we will continue the ceremony.
Everybody, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together for this top 10 banquet. We thank you for everyone in attendance tonight, for the meal we're about to partake in, and for the many hands that help prepare the food. We ask your continued blessing and guidance upon us as we venture into the next phase of our lives. May you work in every single one of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, I think most folks are finishing up eating here. Feel free to get up and move around if you need to. More drinks up there. Plenty of mashed potatoes and chicken left, which is awesome. But can we give the folks from Chartwell's, Bob and his crew, a round of applause for a great dinner? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's a late night, and we sure appreciate it. It was amazing. Thank you. Another thank you I'd like to share before we get started. On the back of your program, you'll see the name David and Carol Young. David Young has been sponsoring the Top 10 banquet for years, without question. It's not even really a expectation. I just send him the invoices for plaques and food, and he just takes care of it. You'll also hear his name tonight. I shared with Audrey. He's been given $20,000 scholarships to seniors here at Randolph Eastern for years and years and years. So his wife passed away a year and a half ago. So everything he does is in memory of his wife, Carol. So we do appreciate them. He catches this online. So can we give David a round of applause as well? Okay, so top 10 banquet works a little something like this. I'm going to have all of the top 10 seniors sit on my left, Terrific 10 senior or staff members on my right. And as they come up, seniors, just your only thing you have to do is come up here and read your speech, which is in this binder. Thanks to you for getting those to me on time. Some of those sooner than later or later than sooner, but we got them. They're all in the binder. They're ready for you to go. But I will do the introductions for each student and give them a chance to speak about their staff member. So seniors, if you want to come on up, and Terrific 10 staff members, come on up. Don't have to sit in any particular order. All right, they said they're ready to go. So first, and this evening, everything is done in alphabetical order by last name, and you'll see why it's very helpful for me to just kind of get the first one out of the way. So our first senior is Audrey Black. She is the daughter of Aaron Black and Melissa Harvey. She's been a part of basketball, golf, FCA, track, book club, SAD, DECA, was an Indiana DECA State Officer, National Honor Society, yearbook, Spanish, and she was a member of the band for a minute. After high school, she plans to attend Butler, major in biological and neuroscience, with a minor in Spanish with a pre-medicine track. Our first senior is Miss Audrey Black.
So I'm not sure if it's a surprise to anyone in the room that for my top 10 faculty member, I chose Andrea Elson. Throughout the past 2.5 years, she has had the job of acclimating me to a new school, dragging me through Spanish, and teaching me how to use a paper cutter. She has been my therapist, my sounding board, the person that keeps me from being too impulsive, and my school mom. My mom and dad can testify the amount of times that I come home and start talking about Mother Elson and the advice she gave me on any given situation. So naturally, I made my schedule around spending the entire day in the guidance office. But if you spent 5 minutes with Andrea, you would understand why. Andrea goes above and beyond at her job, is an amazing person to have in your corner, has a wonderful family, and has poured into me through faith. My school mom is sometimes at her desk, or sometimes she is somewhere random in the school because either they needed her help, or she is subbing, or she offered to walk down to the other end of the school to deliver something. Her day-to-day is not consistent, and it is full of unexpected frustrations, but the one thing that is consistent is the smile on her face. She is always working hard and helps students with things way outside of her job description, but she does it wonderfully and is always able to maintain a positive attitude. I am definitely one of those students that she does a lot of work outside of her job description for. My high school years, I have been a hot mess. Overworked, stressed, signed up for too many things, and forgetful of deadlines. But Mrs. Elson has kept me on track, reminded me that what I am doing is important, and continues to remind me when important dates are coming up. She is an amazing person for me and all of the other students who choose to be in the guidance office to have her in our corner. She goes above and beyond in answering my questions we have, school-related or life-related. She keeps us stocked up on snacks, and she provides us the assistance we need in our classes. The students like me who have chosen to work with her are at an exponential advantage and are prepared for the future due to the sacrifices she makes for us. Andrea makes amazing sacrifices for us, but so does her family. Andrew Elson, her husband, has had to accept the fact that I am his kid now too. However, he has not only accepted it, he has taken it with joy. He has become yet another person I can turn to for help. He leaves me dinosaur drawings somehow when I need it the most, and is always understanding of giving up his wife to her children that she has taken in. Andrea has 2 children, Ryder and Jocelyn. They have learned that Shannon and I are their sisters, and they're slowly, even slower in Ryder's case, learning to love us. Jocelyn tags along with Andrea to some of her responsibilities as our senior class sponsor, has watched us play basketball, and is a great person to talk to and get to know. Ryder, in true brother passion, likes to pretend he doesn't like us, but deep down he cares about us. He came with Andrea to watch Shannon and I's senior class play, and one time we even talked him into bringing us Starbucks. Andrea and Andrew has raised 2 incredible children, which in no doubt is a testament to their character and who they are as people. Andrea is a woman of God, and she is not ashamed of that. She will give us advice and guidance out of the Bible that is what we need, and she uses scriptures as encouragement. Mrs. Elson has poured into me and helped me as I dive deeper into my faith this year, and makes me want to be a strong woman in God one day as well. I will never forget the time that I was having a rough few weeks, and Andrea gave me a book full of scriptures that I could use to help me get out of my funk. As a Christian teenager, having someone like her in the school was crucial for me. In conclusion, I could go on and on about Andrea's greatness, but someone gave me an 800-word limit. Andrea, thank you for being my rock these past few years, and to your family, thank you for graciously sharing with me.
All right, our next senior is Miss Cabry Cooper. Cabry is the daughter of Tyler and Kristen Cooper. She's been a part of the Sad Save Club, the vice president of K.I.S.S TV, and also the vice president of Sad Save Club and executive producer for K.I.S.S TV, member of the Lady Indian basketball team, softball team, cheerleading, varsity football manager, Apache Design, National Honor Society, part of the Vision Corner Student Board of Advisors, FFA, 1 year as the vice president and 1 year as the reporter. Cabry's future plans are to attend Indiana University East and major in nursing, pre-BSN. Miss Cabry Cooper.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to share a story about someone who had a profound impact on my life. Traditionally, we would stand up here and share all of the positive reasons we chose the teacher that we did. Instead, I'm going to stand here and tell you all the reasons I didn't choose this person. In middle school, this person seemed the least likely to be the hero of any story. This teacher was not described as warm or approachable. In fact, most students would say that he is grumpy, short-tempered, sarcastic, unfazed, and funny. In this case, most students would be my siblings and I. His stern demeanor, combined with an almost perpetual frown, made him a teacher that students dreaded having. He was strict, demanding, and had little tolerance from what he considered to be laziness or lack of effort. In the beginning, his no-nonsense approach was intimidating, to say the least. But as time went on, I began to notice a pattern in his grumpiness. It wasn't random, nor was it aimed at making us miserable. It was driven by an unyielding commitment to excellence and a genuine desire to see us succeed. I always thought that I'd be so excited to finally get rid of him, but now I'm pretty sure the tables have turned. As soon as I got into high school sports, something crazy happened, and I found him to be the funniest person. I like to think that it's because his personality mimics my father's in some ways. I believe that everyone needs tough love to succeed, and if that's the case, well then I won't fail. Thanks to my father and Tony Evans. What truly stands out about Mr. Evans is his unique way of teaching life lessons. His classroom wasn't just about textbooks and exams. It was about resilience, responsibility, and respect. He challenged us to think critically and pushed us out of our comfort zones. His gruff exterior masked a deep passion for teaching and an unwavering belief in the potential of each of his students. Over time, I began to appreciate his sarcasm as a form of wit and his strictness as a form of caring. He wasn't just preparing us for the next test, he was preparing us for life. The values he instilled in us, discipline, hard work, and integrity, are core values that I carried with me to this day. When I think of the kind of person I aspire to be, I see traces of Mr. Evans in that vision. His influence extends far beyond the classroom, and he is the reason I approach challenges head on, the reason I strive for excellence in everything I do, and the reason I understand the importance of tough love. So while I might not have chosen Mr. Evans for the conventional reasons, I realize now that he chose me. He saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself, and he made it his mission to bring it to the forefront. For that, I am eternally grateful. My hope is that one day in the future, he stops me and says, "Congratulations, you're finally on the Evans level." Thank you.
You quickly learn how these students land as top 10 students because they just articulate their feelings so well in writing. Our next senior is Mr. Owen Dowler. He is the son of Amy and Jason Dowler. He's a member of FCA, National Honor Society, FFA, Student Media, Esports, K.I.S.S, basketball, tennis, and baseball. His future plans are to attend Ball State University with an undecided major in the health science field. Mr. Owen Dowler.
First of all, I want to say what a sense of accomplishment I feel to be standing before you all here at the Top 10 banquet. It took 4 years of intense effort to learn new things, meet deadlines, and be very tentative about my duties as a student. However, I'll be lying to you all if I said that I did it by myself. I have to thank my loving and supportive parents for keeping me driven and honest throughout my high school years, my faith in our Creator for giving me a purpose, and this unique school system that I so graciously landed in for the past 13 years. But the real reason that I am standing before you today is to honor an educator, a mentor, and a friend that has made a huge impact on me these past 4 years, and that would be no one other than Mrs. A. I've gotten the chance to take English 9, Theater Arts, IU Speech, and Student Media with Mrs. A. I would say it was freshman year where I took off the lens of childhood and started becoming more in touch with the reality around me. I started to pay more attention to not only what my teachers taught me, but how they treated people also. Well, it just happened that during my year of English 9 with Mrs. A, we welcomed a student teacher to our class named Mr. Risley. Just imagine the nerves Mr. Risley had entering a new school system and having to essentially learn how to teach in front of an audience of strangers. I'll tell you what, he is the luckiest student teacher in the world to have landed in the same classroom as Mrs. A. Once you get to experience what it is like to work with or be advised by Mrs. A, you will find yourself searching for someone with the same amount of knowledge, enthusiasm, and positivity for a long time, because it is so rare. I had always heard nothing but good things about her during my years leading up to freshman year, but actually experiencing how she was able to instruct and comfort another adult who has the same passion of teaching our youth touched and inspired me heavily. You may know Mrs. A as just a teacher, but I know Mrs. A as a human who unconditionally loves other human beings. That is one of the biggest reasons why I really admire what she does. She goes out of her way to connect with students and make us feel like we are truly different from the next student that walks into class. While others may not notice it, I notice the little acts that Mrs. A does, such as greet us as we walk into school, or stand by her door during passing period with a friendly smile on her face. It is these little things that I take to heart because it shows selflessness, and that is a trait which we don't see enough anymore in this world. Not to mention her ability to tune out the world and focus on a task. Through these past 4 years, I've realized that teachers are people too and have lives outside of the classroom just like us. I've had times where life has struck me, and I was able to take a second look up to Mrs. A and see how strong she is despite everything life throws at us, and know that I can be strong too. Thank you, Mrs. A, for being a true role model during a time where there is much darkness. Now I want to take a second to reflect on the good times we have shared together. I can't help but give a little laugh every time I think about our dysfunctional but amazing theater arts class. Even when me or another student didn't want to get out of our comfort zone, I just remember how encouraging she was to get us on that stage. Next would be our closely knit speech class. I felt very special and honored to be a part of the first group that she announced her retirement to. Also, I will remember the great laughs we shared after a speech gone wrong, or even just a speech that might have been on the more unique side. Finally, where we bonded the most, student media. This was a time where I truly felt a new level of respect in school. Mrs. A had named me the editor of the returning school newspaper and had completely given me free rein and said go for it. The past 2 years of creating new editions with my different editorial staffs have taught me a lot. But it was really the fact that I felt as if me and her were on the same level of authority that meant a lot to me. We could bounce ideas off each other, and I was able to comfortably open up to her, knowing there would be no judgment, rather than feeling like she was just my teacher doing her job. I could genuinely stand up here for hours on end, speaking about the wonderful memories that I've made with Miss A. She has made an everlasting impact on my life and is someone who I will look up to forever. Thank you, Mrs. A, for everything you've done for me.
All right, our next senior is Miss Cameron Fisher. Cameron's the daughter of Brian and Tracy Fisher. She's participated in volleyball, basketball, tennis, book club, DECA, National Honor Society. She's been a cadet teacher. She's on the Vision Corner Advisory Board, Morning Weights, and Apache. She is the Apache manager. Cameron's future plans are to attend IU East and major in elementary education. Miss Cameron Fisher.
Tonight, I have the honor to stand among my fellow classmates and their families to show the appreciation that I have for Miss Keel. Miss Keel sure is a special one. Many believe that Keel is a tough, strict, follow-the-rules kind of teacher, which she definitely can be, but many don't see as her fun, goofy, selfless self. Keel has been a part of my high school career ever since I can remember, and I also believe that Keel was a scary teacher because she could hear her scream, "Walk to the right," all the way down the hallway. But since I have spent countless hours with her over the past years, from in class, state, DECA, and California, I've realized that she is far from scary. Keel has such a wonderful heart. She'll drop anything and everything if you are in need or are struggling with something. Keel will help no matter what you may need. This could just be help with an assignment that you're struggling with. You may need some advice, someone to talk to, but be aware she likes to yap, or even if you are struggling with life problems. Keel is always there to help. Keel has been with me through thick and thin. She has seen me at my happiest and at my lowest, and she always knows when something is wrong. Keel doesn't know this, but she has helped me through some of my hardest times in life by just being there for me. I was really struggling at one point, and Keel was always there to check in on me, have little chats, or just make me laugh. Keel is always someone you can joke with and have fun. Depending if I was dumb or dumber one day, it didn't change how she treated me. She may have had to remind me to do something almost about every day because I'm a procrastinating queen, and she got a little agitated at me because of that. But that never stopped her from caring. Miss Keel has taught me so much, whether this was in the classroom, learning for classes that I actually had to take, or teaching me life skills outside of class. I would not be the person that I am today without Keel. Thank you for being a part of my life. Keel, I'll miss you so much. Love you long time.
Our next senior is Mr. Zach Falk. Zach is the son of Mike and Amy Falk, been a member of Student Council, National Honor Society, DECA, baseball, tennis, basketball, and esports. His future plans are to attend Purdue Fort Wayne to major in computer science. Mr. Zach Falk.
I nominated Blake Clevenger as my terrific 10 employee / teacher because he goes beyond what it means to be just a teacher. As an incoming freshman, I had no idea who Mr. Clevenger was other than the scary tech guy who yelled at you for breaking your computer, or what his personality was like. However, I quickly found out why he was the person who many students could freely talk to and be sure to be given an honest, thought-out response. His willingness to communicate, ability to crack a joke, and his legendary laugh made me quickly realize why he was one of the students' favorite teachers. However, it's not just his personality and humor that makes Mr. Clevenger a good teacher, but his knowledge and his experience. If you were to take one of his classes, you would find out that he's always pushing students to go one step further than what the assignment requires them. When a student says they are done with an assignment early, Mr. Clevenger tells them to go the next step, to give the extra effort, and to add something original and unique. Students never hesitate to ask Mr. Clevenger for his help on an assignment, and for many students never hesitate to ask Blake for his help on an assignment, and for many students, it's quite often when accounting for the difficulty of the classes that he teaches. However, Mr. Clevenger doesn't just give them the answer or type it for them. He guides the students through the problem and helps build students' critical thinking skills and their confidence when they get the result they want. He makes students realize that they are very capable of achieving the solution themselves if they remain confident in themselves. Blake is someone who values the intangibles of a person with high regard. Determination, character, and work ethic are some of the personal skills that students will build while taking a class with Mr. Clevenger. At some points, Mr. Clevenger's responses may seem blunt or even harsh. However, his goal is to give students a realistic perception of the world and what adult life may treat them like. That being said, when a student has a vision or has a creative spark, Mr. Clevenger is the first person to encourage them to follow that. He loves to see what his students can do with a vision when given the resources and freedom to make that vision a reality. Mr. Clevenger is my nominee for this award because he builds student skills that are important for future success. Blake is someone who encourages students to follow their passions and be successful in whatever career they see themselves in. He is a person that any student can speak freely with and know they're going to be told what they need to hear, even if it's not what they want to hear. Blake is someone who's not just a teacher, but a mentor. Thank you.
Our next senior is Dwight Magsisi. He is the son of Amor Wright and Jack Wright. He's been a part of archery and DECA. His future plans are to attend an undecided college. Mr. Dwight Magsisi.
I am standing here today to talk about an amazing teacher who had an impact on my high school journey. This teacher's name is Mrs. Laura Elliott. She has been an incredible influence on me because of the energy that she brings to everything she does. Mrs. Elliott is a beacon of positivity and enthusiasm, lighting up any room she enters. I clearly remember the very first time I met her, which was the day before the classes officially started. I was visiting the school to familiarize myself with the new environment since I had just moved here from a different country. I wanted to check out the school and find out which rooms I needed to go to for my classes. In the hallway, I met Mrs. Elliott Mrs. Elliott. She welcomed me with a warm smile and a friendly conversation. Although it was a brief encounter, she struck me as someone who was not only fun but also genuinely caring. When I later found out that she would be my Spanish teacher, I felt a sense of relief knowing that I would at least know one person who seemed approachable and kind. When classes started, I realized how special Mrs. Elliott truly was. Her classroom was really nice and filled with colorful posters, a wall painting, and the posters full of Spanish words. I enjoyed her teaching style, which made learning Spanish not just educational, but also incredibly enjoyable. She would always tell stories that I enjoyed listening to. During the 2 years I spent with Mrs. Elliott, I noticed that her dedication to students went beyond the classroom. She was always available for extra help, whether it was for homework, preparing for exams, or simply offering advice and encouragement. She would always help students whenever they needed help. When I took quizzes and make a simple mistake because I did not read the instructions right, she would give me back my paper and make me fix it. And I am thankful for that because it helped my grades and made me learn from my mistakes. Mrs. Laura Elliott has made a significant impact on my high school experience. Her vibrant energy, enjoyable teaching methods, and genuine care for her students have made learning fun. She has instilled in me a love for the Spanish language and culture, and her influence will continue to inspire me as I move forward in my academic and personal journey. Thank you, Mrs. Elliott, for being an amazing teacher and making a lasting difference in my life. I hope that you will enjoy your retirement and have a wonderful life.
Our next senior is Mr. Angel Nieto. He is the son of Sarah Perky and Manuel Nieto. He's been a part of basketball, baseball, and K.I.S.S TV. His future plans are to attend Ball State University and major in media production. Mr. Angel Nieto.
All right. Hello. For today's top 10 banquet, the staff member I've chosen is Mr. Root. So for the last 2 years, Mr. Root was my basketball coach, and I never had him as a teacher, but I did spend a lot of my free periods playing basketball during his gym classes. So the 2 seasons that Mr. Root coached me, especially my senior year, was the most fun I had playing basketball. He also allowed me to have 2 of the coolest moments of my life during basketball. The first being letting me play in a varsity game with my brother, and the other trusting me to shoot the game winner on senior night. One thing I'm very grateful for, Mr. Root pushed me and expected me to be a leader on the basketball team and help my younger teammates and keep them accountable. And my teammates would get mad at me a lot, but I feel like I learned some valuable lessons from being a leader this past year. And even beyond basketball, Mr. Root is a very kind person who'd do just about anything for any of his players or students. So I'll forever be grateful for everything Mr. Root has done for me, both during basketball and during school.
Our next senior is Stacy Ramirez. Stacy's aunt, Glenda Andino, is here with her. Her future plans, I'm going to let her read them because she's going to do hers in Espanol because her staff member, is our Espanol teacher. So, Stacy, come on up.
Pienso que Mr. Jiménez realiza su trabajo de manera muy profesional y es amable con sus alumnos. Él siempre habla con los maestros para ver cómo siguen nuestras calificaciones. El Mr. Jiménez habla con nosotros y está al tanto de cómo nos puede ayudar. Siempre trata de llevarse bien con todos y hacer de sus clases una manera divertida de aprender. Lo escogí porque cuando llegué a la escuela siempre me ayudó y sigue siendo de esa manera hasta ahora. Nos da ánimo y nos da consejos. Él procura estar para sus alumnos en todo momento cuando lo necesitamos y hasta cuando pensamos que no. El Mr. Jiménez nos hace salir de nuestra zona de confort, porque así no solo estamos trabajando en la computadora, sino hacemos diferentes actividades para desestresarnos. Estoy agradecida con el maestro porque desde la primera vez que llegué a la escuela me ayudó y me apoyó en lo que no sabía y en todo lo que preguntaba. Él nunca me dijo que no se podía, siempre tomó el tiempo para figurar cómo. Gracias, maestro, por siempre escucharme a mí y a los demás.
Our next senior is Mr. Caden Roth. Caden is the son of Aaron and Sarah Roth. He's a member of the football, baseball, and basketball teams, member of wrestling, member of K.I.S.S TV and TP. His future plans are to attend IU East and study criminal science to become a forensic scientist. Mr. Caden Roth.
Hello, everyone. My name's Caden Roth, and I have nominated Kevin Lawrence for many reasons. Right towards the beginning of winter sports season, I had no intentions on playing any sports. However, as soon as I heard how excited he was and how excited my brother was to wrestle, I knew that there was a spot on the team somewhere for me. Kevin is a very special person and man in many ways. He taught me that it's okay to try something new. He taught me even when your face is on the mat, the only direction to go is up. The same goes true in life. When you're down in life and you feel like you have nowhere left to go, go up. Or in wrestling, get your face off the mat. I will always remember the practices where we would run around the elementary and how we would play football with a t-shirt on the mats. Or even the long bus rides where I would tell jokes and he would laugh. But Kevin is also a great person off of the wrestling mats. He loves to help people in need the best he can, as given by his participation in the Brianna's Hope chapter in Union City. I could go on and on about the good things he does for me and the community. Thank you, Coach Lawrence, for giving me a chance.
And our final top 10 student tonight is Mr. Alex Spence. Alec is the son of Chad and Gina Spence. He's been a member of football, track, basketball, SAD Save Club, band, esports, archery, and is a vital part of the community Christmas. He plans to attend rapid flight training to gain required ratings in order to become a commercial pilot. Mr. Alex Spence.
Hello. I am Alex Spence, and I have nominated Coach Malloy because I consider him not only a friend, but also a mentor. Under his guidance, I have learned many life skills that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Not only has Coach been my coach, but he has started out as my youth pastor first. That is where my strong bond with the coach began. It has been an honor to have had such an influential and positive thinking football coach. With Coach Malloy, it doesn't matter if you are a D1 athlete or an athlete like me. It only matters if you work hard and try your best. He has always pushed me to be the best that I can, and best that I can. I'm so sorry. He has always pushed me to be the best that I can be, not only on the field, but off the field too. I am so thankful for Coach.
What an amazing accomplishment. Just thinking about what Owen said about what it takes to be on this stage, the things that students have to overcome to be top 10 students. We have 2 students sitting to my left, your right, that this was their first year in this country, and not only proved themselves with transcripts, but they held up very well when they got here. So what a compliment to the class of 2024. What a representation of the best of the best. I'm so very proud of them. And what an honor for these folks sitting on this side. 2 of these folks are retiring this year, and I mean, this is not rigged by no means, but for the folks, the students come up and share what they shared about those 2 individuals as their last terrific 10 opportunity was pretty incredible. So thank you all so much for being a part of that. As we wrap up, just remember at 7 o'clock, we will head down to the gymnasium for the Senior Awards Program. So this is a big scholarship night, a night where we are just reminded how blessed we are as a very giving community that lifts up education here in Union City. So with that being said, that does close today's terrific 10 banquet. We will move this podium out of the way and stage these guys for group pictures and pictures with their terrific 10 staff team members. So thank you all so much for coming. Can we give these folks one more round of applause?